Welcome to Understanding Obamacare Penalties 2016, brought to you by Apollo Insurance Group, home of FastEasySignup.com, where we make getting healthcare fast and easy. Shameless plug, but let's get started with what you need to know going forward for 2016. Many of us understand that the health insurance has been mandated by the federal government, good, bad, or indifferent, but that's the law of the land at this point in time, and if you don't have a qualified health plan, you will pay a penalty. So, of course, it's not called a penalty. It's called an individual shared responsibility payment, or whatever you want to call it, but it is a tax or a fee or some money that you will have to pay to the government for not having a qualified health plan. So in 2016, we can see here that going forward, it's going to be $6.95 flat fee per adult, or 2.5% of our gross income or family income for the year. Now, two things you need to know, like we just mentioned, 2.5% of modified gross income or the flat fee, whichever is higher, is going to be the penalty. Now, how do you calculate that percentage rule? This is the big question we get a lot, so we want to review this. Basically, it's 2.5% of your household income above your filing threshold. Many ask, what is a filing threshold? Well, that is the minimum amount you must make that requires you to file a tax return. So with that being said, as latest numbers show, if you're single, under 65, your filing threshold is $10,150. If you make less than that, you do not, by law, have to file a tax return. If you make more, you do. Along with head of household, it's $1,350. Married filing jointly, you can see there's $20,300. So the 2.5% rule based on income works like this. We get your modified adjusted gross income, okay, your MAGI. Now, how do we arrive at MAGI? MAGI is arrived by taking your adjusted gross income plus your non-taxable Social Security benefits plus tax-exempt interest plus excluded foreign income, and then you arrive at your modified adjusted gross income or your MAGI. Good news is for the vast majority of us, it's just going to be our adjusted gross income because we don't have many of those other criterias. So with that in mind, we will then go and subtract the filing threshold that we discovered before. For a single person under 65 would be $10,150, and in this case that would leave us $20,000 that's above the filing threshold, which is then subject to the 2.5% rule. So 2.5% of $20,000 equals $500. Now remember, it is the greater of or the higher value of that you will have to pay. So in review, it's $6.95 per adult or 2.5. So we can simply say that in this case, the flat fee wins, because for 2016 it's $6.95 per adult, and if you have a child, you have to add that in as well, because it'll be $347.50 more per child. And as we showed in our example, the 2.5% was only $500. So $6.95 being more than $500, the penalty this person would have to pay would be $695 in addition to any other taxes, and still not have insurance. So let's take a look at what happens if a family of four. Family of four, let's say there's two adults, $695. You got $1,390, two kids at $347.50. You got another $695. Your total, if we add those two together, will be $2,085. In this case, their flat fee would be $2,085. You can see how it adds up as the family size increases. Now, good news is that the cap on the tax is what the most is charged for the national average on a bronze plan, which just coincidentally happens to be $2,085. So if you are a single person or a family, a large family, and your gross income exceeds, and that 2.5% exceeds $2,085, well, you're in luck, because the most that you're going to pay is $2,085. That's the cap. Now, like we said before, everyone must enroll, regardless if you have or do not qualify for a tax credit or subsidy. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're going to get financial assistance or not. Everybody must enroll from all walks of life, and as long as you're filing a tax return, you need to have it, because that's where they're going to reconcile the records for you. So what is your next step? Well, get some health care. That'll be the easiest. Or do some math to see if it would be better to pay the penalty. That might sound kind of crazy, but given the fact that $285 equals $173.75 a month, and you may not be in a position to pay that or receive no tax credit to reduce that amount, that could be kind of a problem. Because after all, these bronze plans also have a huge deductible or huge max out of pocket, typically $6,800 as federal mandated, or somewhere around there, depending on the plan. So what is an alternative for you? Maybe a supplemental plan where you can actually go ahead and do a combination of the bronze plan with the supplemental plan so that it can help reduce that $6,800, or just pay the penalty and get yourself a supplemental plan. That way you don't have insurance, or that you don't go without insurance and still have to pay that penalty. Now, keep in mind that enrollment is only for a certain period of time, and this time of year it is going to be from November 1st, 2015 through January 31st, 2016. Different from last year. Last year we went all the way through to February 15th, so the time has shortened, or rather it started sooner this year. And of course it is going to be all over January 31st, 2016, so you better make sure that you have something, or you enroll with something by that date. Now, we're here to help, so give us a call. Here's our shameless plug. If you have any questions, give us a call at 800-315-0867, and we will go through your options. Or you can simply go to fasteasysignup.com, where you can get a quote, see all the different plans, see what subsidies you qualify for, tax credit wise and cost sharing wise, and actually enroll yourself by just filling out a simple form. It takes less than 2 minutes. So if you want to check it out, go ahead, fasteasysignup.com, or give us a call at 800-315-0867. We hope you found this informational, and hope to see you soon. Give us a like, subscribe, do whatever you need. Thank you so much.